Right, so we have just purchased a pair of the very latest GHD Gold hair straighteners, or stylers as they call it, and this, as I say, is their latest model, and I really want to see what it's like, whether we've got any chance of repairing any parts, repairing them, and just thought we should have a closer look, really. So, the usual box instructions, etc. There is the little protector there with GHD written on the end. So let's have a look, see what we've got. Now, strangely, a few weeks ago I noticed on a pair of, I think they were GHD 4.2s, they had this ridge around here. I don't know whether you can see that. I think you probably can. But to start off with, it looked like it was melted. Somehow the arm had become melted. And then I realised it had exactly the same matching one on the other side. And I've only ever seen that on one pair of 4.2s, and now I see that it is on this very latest model as well. So these are very much like the platinum models. I was going to say, have they changed the cable? I'm just going to grab a platinum mains cable. See if that looks the same or similar. So it looks like that may be the same mains cable. It would certainly be helpful if it is, from a repair standpoint. So I'm not going to power these up, it doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, no, do I want to work on them hot? No, I don't. I'm going to have a closer look first, I think, and then we'll power them up and just see how the operation is. So this model is called the S7N261, made in China, 60 to 80 watts, and it is the GHD Gold. So it looks like we've got hinge covers as on all of the older models, but I suspect inside we will have the flexi PCB and elements, just like the platinum model. This apparently is 2-zone, where the platinums were 3 zones. So yeah, let's see about popping these covers off. Ooh, yeah, dear. Are these even genuine? They have a plastic hinge pin. I'm quite shocked by that. Ooh, and a tiny screw, and if we had seen this on any other model, we would now be saying that these are fake. So, at some point, I think we're going to have to enter this code and see if these are genuine or not. I mean, I'm really shocked that they look just like the fakes that we've been warning everybody of for years. Why on earth would they use parts like that have been used so widely on fakes? That is a surprise, I have to say. Do we have fakes? These are from Amazon? I don't know. Tiny little screw there that you can see. I'm going to pull that out. Oh, surely not. I mean, this really is hideous. So the hinge spring is actually upside down to compared to normal GHDs. You would normally, on the older models, they would be like that. So this is done the other way around. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Got the nylon spacer. This looks it looks like it's an equal shape now, but the finish is very poor. There's sharp edges where this has been pressed out of a sheet of steel. It's literally been punched out and then bent, probably all in one particular go, but in one go. But that is quite sharp, and not very nice. I am less than impressed with a plastic piece like that. If somebody came up to me with these now, I would be screaming fakes. So it looks like we have the same sort of story really, with the cover that's going to need to be forced off with the knife. This is full length, so it's going to be a bit tricky. Oh, there we go. In fact, it wasn't that tricky, it just kind of fell off. Yeah, similar to the Platinums, with the screw holding the other casing part together. There's a screw here and a black one at the end there. Interesting. Okay, so relatively easy to remove those. I'm just looking to see if there's any sort of little hooks or catches on. Yeah, there is on the inside of these plastics. So these are very similar to the Platinum models. Let's get these out of the way. In fact, I'm going to put these bits in the box as we go. Quite a thick, chunky cover. Don't know whether the plastic will be any more reliable than all the other models from over the years. Yeah. Okay, let's chuck those in there. Oh, that's just absolutely shocking. Well, we'll soon find out whether they're genuine or not when we go on the GHD website. So let's take these apart further. Metallic flake, ceramic plates. Again, I can't really tell what colour that is. They're calling these gold, so maybe that is a gold, but it looks sort of a silvery gold, if that's possible. Anyway, let's do the arm with the switch first, and we will just unscrew. There are two screws on this side. Strangely, there's a little bit of wire. I don't know whether you can see that. There is a blue wire looped around there. Don't know whether you're going to be able to see that or not. I assume that is wires from the main socket. It looks like this side has two screws that are holding the mains cable socket in place. And it looks like this whole this cover comes off, but from the underside. So yeah, okay, so we've got 2 screws, and then that cover comes off, and we can then pull the mains cable out. So it's pretty easy to change this cable in this case, because we don't need to take any of that apart. Just look into what holds that in place. Yeah, literally is just that. Yeah, so it's an interesting design. It's 2 screws there. Actually, you do obviously have to take the cover off that side to access the 2 screws, then lift that cover off and pull the cable out. I'm just going to grab the other platinum cable and just check, and indeed that is exactly the same cable, so that is good news. So as we get more and more scrap platinums in, actually I'm saying that, is that going in? Let's try again. Let's try this one, the original first. That's quite hard to hold there. Let's pop it, there we go, that's better. That's it, yeah, that's in, that is the original. And let's just have a little look at this platinum one, and that's absolutely fine. So yeah, good news, cable is the same as the platinum irons. Let's just get that out of the way for the moment. So this cover, this cover comes off, and unlike the platinums that have the speaker here and the switch and LED ring actually part of this, it then plugs into the circuit board. They have done away with those expensive parts, and well, they've done away with the wiring and the expensive plug and sockets, and the tack switch is just on here. There's a little buzzer speaker there. Very interesting. We have to take my glasses off for this. It's a very interesting way of connecting these wires up. They've done away with the screw terminals, and yeah, not sure exactly what's going on there. I'll have to take that board out and and have a closer look. But anyway, let's have a look. There is a silicon piece here, completely done away with all of the terminals and screws and the captive nuts. There's 4 black wires going off here. God knows what they're attached to, because I can see absolutely nothing on the underside of this board. There is a plastic clip here. Quite fragile, that. Okay, there we go, just lifted that out. So the main socket, that's where you could see that blue wire. The wiring is twisted and looped around that bit of plastic just in there. Okay, so that's the arm. So let's have a closer look here. So on this PCB you have the same terminals as the other end for the heater and assume thermal fuse. Actually no, it's not going to be that way, is it? These are supposed to have 2 zones, so I'm assuming we've got 2 heaters and 2 thermistors there. The chip, in case you're wondering, is, spin that round, I've got it back to front. Yeah, it's quite hard to read that. It's an ST chip, looks like STM32F. D30C8T6, that's my best guess. And the writing on the board says NALA PCBA control board, bare board, PCB number. There's a header here, 8 pins. Pin 1 is top left. Yeah, quite interesting. I've no idea how these wires come out of there. You know what it is? I think these wires are just a push fit. So, looking at this, they have been pushed in and they are being gripped by the end of the little metal pieces. Very interesting. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on there. Let's just take a reading or two off of the ceramic plate here. See if we can work out exactly what's going on. So if we take the two outer ones, we're getting a 42 ohm reading. If we take the two inner ones, we're getting 470 ohms. If we take these two, 1 meg. Take those two, 1 meg. So two outer ones 42, two inner ones 470 ohms. So I'm sure it said these were 2-zone irons. Let me read the box again. I thought that was what it said. Dual zone technology. Now, when they say dual zone, I assume they meant per plate, but that's perhaps not the case. Perhaps what they're saying is this is one zone and then the other end is another zone. So if we now take this apart, so I suppose the good news here is that at least it is not flexi print. So there might be a chance to repair these. So let's just take this cover off. This time we have another bit of hard plastic just sat in there. That seems to be clamping those cables down tight. Now we've got another piece of silicon plastic. It's black this time, but it's exactly the same as the. Actually, is it? That's possibly a different width, or is it just looking smaller because it's black? No, you know what, I reckon that's a smaller size. Don't know why they would do that, but that's what it looks like to me. Just looking at this circuit board. Okay, so we are going to lift this assembly out. Okay, there we go. A white label in there. Not sure what that's for. Let's just have a look at the other arm. Yeah, there's also a white label in that one. I'm just checking to see if there is a left and right. Yeah, they are different actually. So yeah, of course they're different, you idiot. I was thinking of the platinums, which are exactly the same. Of course these are different because they use the traditional hinge pin. So yeah, of course. So the rubber pieces they've used here look to be exactly the same as all of the other rubber pieces in the Mark 4.2 and the Mark 5s, so no surprises there. Is there anything likely to fail quickly on these? Where's that mains going in? So that is the middle two terminals, and where does that go off? Oh, very, very fine. Is it? Let me have a look at that again. Yes, the middle two terminals, blue and brown. And yeah, hard to see where that goes off to. I think it's on this side of the board. So yeah, nothing immediately obvious that's begging to fail. I think we're going to have to try and take one of these, or 4 of these wires out. I'd like to remove one of these elements for a closer look. And it seems to me that it really is just gripping there. You can't see a thing here, can you? Let's just get in there. There we go. And that wire is blue, and it's got this black heat-proof silicone cover over it. Again, if we just pop in there and twist slightly, we should be able to undo these. Again, that to me looks like another blue wire, so you could easily cock these up if you're not careful, the orientation. Again, another one there. Again, blue. And the final one, just press those out, and blue again, so you're going to have to be super careful not to mess them up. So let's have a look at the readings again. I think we had readings on the 2 outer ones to start with. So 43 ohms and 538 ohms. Nothing between them, obviously. So interesting, what's going on there then? 43 ohms, 537 ohms. I think we're going to have to pop one of these open and have a closer look, see what's going on. So, as you can see there, they have spring clips. I think we can just get the screwdriver down there and flex that out like that. There we go. So, very easy to remove those. Literally screwdriver in and ping it off. There we go. Nothing too complicated there. Now, is this just going to come off, or have we got something else going on? Let's see if we can lift that off. It's quite tight on there, so I don't know whether that's just needs prising away. Or whether they've done something hideous and the whole thing has to come apart. I'm going to slide it out like that. And well, there we go. I'm going to make sure we get this kept the right way around. So this time there is, oh okay, there's a built-in thermal fuse. Actually, I'm just going to put that back in there. So there is a built-in thermal fuse here. So we're going to lift that away. Ah, fascinating. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this up to the camera for you. So this is very much like the non-resettable mechanical thermal fuse that is fitted on the platinums. There are two contacts on the element, and the pressure of these, sorry, there's two contact pads on the element, and then the spring tension of the thermal fuse is just pressing on there. So that's yeah, that's very interesting indeed. So thermal fuse is attached to which wires? Yeah, I'm not getting much of a reading there because these are not pressing down tightly on there. Let's get the middle ones again. 539, and nothing at the moment. But when we touch on here, 27, and if you touch on the other one, that end, 15. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know quite what's going on there, I'm sure. So just looking at that, the silicon cover for that, does that go on any particular way around? Doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't matter which way around this goes, because that is definitely moulded differently. There's a triangular piece at this end, a completely different arrangement that end. Does it clip on? Or no, it definitely slides on. There are two central plastic pieces there which which hold this in place. Whether you can press that down and slide it in or not, I have no idea. I'm not even going to try. I think we're going to have to slide this together. That makes thermal paste somewhat hard to apply because you're kind of scraping it off as you slide this all back together again. So we are going to just clip this back together. Very easily done. And we'll check the elements again. 43, 540 on the other one, 42, 467. So yeah, very interesting indeed. So at this point we do not need screws or anything else. We will just be able to push these straight back in. He says. See if we can just line them all up and go and push the lot in. So, yep, we have got all of the wires back in. Just just going to wipe off the bit of ceramic paste that's come out as we've slid them back together. Oh, that's very, very interesting indeed. Oops, and that has come out. Two of them have come out. That is not so good. Take the glasses off and see why that is now not being gripped. Okay, so looks like once that's been pulled out, it's not happy to grip again properly. Let's see if we can just bend them in a little bit with a bit of pressure. See if we can get them gripping again. Yeah, that seems to have done it. Ones at the end there are a problem as well, so we have got to just squeeze those gripping bits of plastic, sorry, bits of metal together and try again. Yeah, that one at the end was a bit troublesome. You've got to pull that silicone outer cabling back so you get enough of the internal blue wire going in, so I can see possible reliability issues there if that is just a friction fit with a little bit of pressure holding those wires in place. I think that would be an interesting thing over the coming years. So I suppose at this point we should just get the cable plugged in and fire them up and see what sounds and noises they make. So they make that bleep as they turn on and flash the lights. Okay, so we've got 4 lights flashing, fading in and out like the Mark V's used to do. Guess we can check the temperature in a minute as well. Oh, they smell of new. So we're up to, it's quite hard to read with just this, I want them clamped together really, but certainly up to the 170 region. 178, 179, 180, 181, just as these warm up. 181, 182, yeah, I think if we had pressure on the actual plate, they would be about around the 186 region, as you'd expect from GHDs. Sorry, this is off the camera, but It looks to be up around the 185 region, just as we'd expect. So, yep. Now, how long do we have to hold that down to turn them off? Probably like the platinums, a few seconds. There we go. So, there we go. An interesting development. And whether we can do anything with these. I suppose it will depend on the sales figures. If thousands and thousands are sold, will there be anything we can do? No, possibly. So yeah, watch this space, I think, for that. So that is a quick look at the GHD model number S7N261, 60 to 80 watts, made in China, 110 to 240 volts, 50 hertz. And just we're going to enter the serial number into the GHD website, and just make sure they're genuine. I suspect they are. This does not look like the sort of board a Chinese copier would produce, but they've certainly moved away from how they were before. So yeah, let's go into this, into their website, and don't know whether we'll reassemble these and sell them, or just keep them for spares, or what. It's obviously way too early to be requiring any of this model. It's only just been released recently, probably in the last few months, so they're going to have a 2-year warranty, so we're not going to be seeing any for a few years. So probably best to reassemble these and get them sold on, I think. Anyway, hope that was interesting, and we'll catch you later.